Somebody once said to me, the best way to learn is to teach, because they ask you so many searching questions and push the way that you are having to think about your answers and what you are doing. Again, just not the arris as well. You flatted it, but the arris is just there a little bit. Again, you'll just pick things up with your hands.
His knowledge of the craft, the tools of the trade, his experience in working with many manufacturers of tools give him a great experience and a great knowledge of the best tool for the job or different process you can take. There are many ways to achieve the end goal, but Peter will talk you through each one of them, give you his opinion on the pros and cons, and that's been really useful.
Peter's been an excellent teacher. I personally feel like he's adapted his style of teaching to me, and I've noticed that he does that to others as well, so I think that's a credit to his teaching ability.
There's up, I think.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Good. So now my driver really is to put as many skills as I can across to my students so they can enjoy woodworking as much as I always have and get their skill base to really grow. Pushing them with their design work also pushes us because they come up with such interesting ideas. It's like children, they don't think there's any limits. So it's really nice to be part of that, to actually get those students with all the new ideas that they bring to the sketch pad that we then turn into reality. There's a nice little arris on that one, just run your hand, that's a little bit too crisp. I started off my teaching in further education in design and make courses, and sort of honed my teaching skills, I guess, there. But I decided I actually wanted to leap outside that very cosy environment of a college. So quite a big decision for myself and the family that I'll go out from this very secure job into starting a business afresh. The drive really was to see if I could give the students as much as I possibly could in a short time, going a little bit back to really the training I'd received 30 years beforehand, which was intensive. It was 5 days a week and trying to get the most out of each individual student, depending what they're coming with. Because we may have students straight from school at the age of 18 who are looking for a career in furniture making. It may be mature students that have already been in another job which perhaps hasn't fulfilled them, or other guys maybe are retiring and they want to do something in their own shed at home which they can actually get immense pleasure out of. I have a good range of grinders within the workshop, an old fast bench grinder I had for my 18th birthday a few years ago now, and I show the students how to use that, and then I show them my choice of grinder, which really is the Tormek system. For some students that's a brand new machine, other guys are quite familiar because they've had them in their own workshops for years, but I find as the year goes on they don't use the fast bench grinders at all. We're sharpening every day and regrinding every week. So we're going back to the Tormek on a very regular basis. And it's nice that it's so repeatable. We're not grinding away anywhere near as much steel as I used to with my old fast bench grinder. We're now taking minimal steel away and just keeping them in tip-top condition all of the time. One of the latest innovations which I think is great is the square edge jig. We can now make fine adjustments to make this camber the blade, something we haven't been able to do so easily before. The things I really like about Tormek is that they innovate. They're doing R&D, coming up with the best jigs and how they can improve our sharpening and grinding processes all the time. So I have 3 Tormeks within the workshop for the 8 students that we have. I'm always looking to make sure we've got the best technology for the students to use, and Tormek really forms a part of that. It's very safe for the students, it's very safe for the tools, and with all the jigs that we have available, we know we can repeat the grinding time and time again. And if you're new to woodworking, holding the chisel on a fast bench grinder and trying to get repeatable results is really quite tricky. We're not serving 6-year apprenticeships anymore. We've got to get in here, get as quick and as efficient as we possibly can, do the sharpening, do the grinding, which is critical, but really get on with the woodworking, which is the bit that we really do enjoy. My workshop originally was based in the threshing barn where we now live. So it was a fantastic 300-year-old building, but literally bats and birds flying through it. So we built inside that a kind of pod with all the machines and my tools in there, which was dry and safe to work from. I was working in there whilst I was getting the listed building and planning consent to develop the workshops that we now have for the school. So this was a quite a redundant farm building, so really quite a mess when we first started it, but we had the vision for what we wanted to do. I knew the design I wanted for separate rooms for design work, machining, and then the hand tool work, which is where we spend most of our time within the workshop. Our first year with students, we had short courses and the long course that we now have. But from memory, I had one student here for 6 months and one student here for 9 months. So that was really intensive and very good for them. A good way for us to learn exactly how the building and the machines were working. And obviously that's developed over the years, so we now have 8 full-time students. That's the maximum I want. It means we can really give as much input into those students as they need. But we still run the short courses and the long courses and have developed those over the years, and they've just got better and better. So for me, it's great. I live here on site, the workshop is here. I've just got like a big toy shop here, really. I can go and play in every day, and with the students here as well. It's just a really nice environment to be working in.